Venerable Yifa is a wonderful example of someone who brings together both teaching and scholarship on one side and teaching and practice on the other side. And I have seen her and benefited from her many realms of activity on both sides of that divide, both the scholarly and the practitioner side. On the scholarly side, Yifa received her PhD from Yale University in 1996. And even in the scholarly world, lineage and your Dharma teacher are very important issues, not just the Buddhist world. And Yifa studied with Stanley Weinstein. Professor Weinstein is one of the senior eminent figure in our field. She just came from a celebration and conference in his honor at Yale that was held last week. Her most important scholarly book was published by the University of Hawaii Press, and it concerns Buddhist monastic codes written in the Tang and Song dynasty. It's a very important publication. So on the scholarly side, Yifa has been very active at the highest levels. She has held teaching appointments and administrative appointments at the University of the West, as well as in California, as well as in Taiwan. On the practitioner side, or the religious side, Venerable Yifa is not simply a practitioner. She's an ordained nun. She was ordained, and the year of ordination for monastics is very important. She was ordained in 1979 in Taiwan at Foguangshan Monastery, which was founded by Venerable Master Xinyu. And she has continued to work with and for Foguangshan or Buddha Light International in many of its educational activities both on the academic side and on the practice side. She's perhaps best known, and certainly I think the most demanding part of her job, from what I can see, is as administrator, as founder, and the brains behind the Wooden Fish Project. The Wooden Fish Project is run by Foguangshan, but it was originally based in Taiwan and brought young people, students, and even some old people like me and my cohort to Taiwan to get a short taste of monastic life and to understand Buddhist culture in Taiwan. And since that time, beginning in the 90s, I'm guessing, Wooden Fish already had begun.
Yeah, 2002.
2002.
Yeah,
since that time, she's developed the educational program and the geographical reach of Wooden Fish. And specifically, she's been involved for the past 4 or 5 years in running a Wooden Fish program, taking similar groups of people to Chinese Buddhist sites in China, that's in the PPRC, and working with an amazing, difficult set of organizations to deal with bureaucratically in the PRC, ranging from archaeological sites, local Buddhist groups and sanghas, the government authorities at virtually all levels, and Chinese academics. And she continues to run these programs. She ran one last summer in Zhejiang and Hutuoshan, which went to the southern part of Hutuoshan on Hainan Island, near Hainan in South China. She's run them in Sichuan, and she's run them in several other parts of China in other summers. So she's immensely accomplished, but also energetic and effective educator. So we're really happy to have you here, Yifa, and welcome. We're planned to go until about 8:15 tonight. Yifa will talk for about 45 minutes, and then we'll have time for Q&A after that.
Yes.
So join me in welcoming you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Professor Kaiser, and thank Matt Weiner. Yes, yeah. You know, those who put all the effort to make this happen, and this is a really privilege for me to speak here. And I was told that we're going to leave more time for Q&A, so I'm probably going to move a little bit faster, and I will have a photo to show you and also video to show you too. As we just mentioned, from year 2002, I started this program called the Wooden Fish Project. And starting 2002, I brought a bunch of Western scholars and mostly graduate students and undergraduate students to Taiwan to sit meditation and also learn about Buddhist philosophy. The ideas came, you know, from when I came to United States to study. I just realized that many of the Buddhist scholars, when they were young, they always went to Asia, especially Japan or Korea or Thailand, to, you know, kind of to test the monastic life. You know, so but not many are women. I mean, women very hard to get into the monastery. So I decided to, why don't I just, you know, set a program. It's called Humanistic Buddhist Monastic Life Program, HBMLP. And maybe some of the audience here have joined this. And it has been for 10 years now. And started 2009, I kind of moved the focus from Taiwan, and of course in Taiwan we still continue to run the program. And I moved to China. The first year we went to Xi'an and we visited almost 30 temples. It was because that's the place where, you know, Buddhism introduced to China. And second year we visit Wutai, and third year Emei, and this year Putoshan and Tiantai. As you can see, it's the four great sacred mountains in China. And the number is the temple we visit that year. For example, to Wutai, I have class means in the Wutai, you know, besides Wutai, we also visit the other about like 9 temples, and then the older temples in Wutai mountain as well. And this year we went to many temples plus Putoshan and the Tiantai, and all the temples in the Puto mountain. Okay, you can see this year we take it from, this is in the Xuedou. So you see some scholar. Can you find some of you here? I don't know, this year. Yeah? Yeah, Naomi, where are you? Yeah, Naomi's here. Yeah? In the behind, right? Yeah, okay, now I know Naomi's here. Okay. Okay, and I also started to develop a new program. And mainly what I feel it's because when we study Chinese Buddhism, and you can see there was a local uniqueness. For example, when I was in Sichuan, and I was told by Duan Yuming professor, he said that indeed in Sichuan, Sichuan province has the most of grotto. And then I said grotto, like a Buddhist cave, okay, with all this Buddhist sculpture. I said, why don't you start the study of grotto, like Dongku Xue, Shihu Xue. Yeah. So and then I went to Guangdong, and there was called Chan base, Chan Jidi. It's very interesting. I think here also good to let you know as well. As this Chan Jidi, the Chan base association, it's called semi-government institution. Why? The mission is because since China is a the socialism or a communist country, and their philosophy is atheism, so they cannot really open to promote they can also promote religion, whatever kind of religion. And so, but they also see that in China right now, they realize that spiritual is very important and the culture is very important, especially so-called the Zen culture is to do with the Chinese culture. So this organization basically supported by the government and promote the Chan culture. They're working with a lot of temple, okay? And so you can see there was kind of a great area. And we have more issues, we can talk about that as well. So they have been promoting Chan culture in Guangdong. And so I approached them, I said, Chan culture is everywhere. You can do it in Jiangxi, you can do it in Hunan, you can do it in Hangzhou. But the uniqueness of the Chan in Guangdong is because the sixth patriarch, Huinan. So I say, you should promote the study of a platform sutra, the study of Huinan. And they accepted. They said, yeah, this is a great idea. You really opened my eyes, my mind. He said he had been working for so many years, he still cannot find the niche. And finally, I tell him. So this organization is working with me. So we create a platform sutra workshop for the winter. So this will be the winter program in China. And what I mean the local Buddhism. For example, later I will show you, like in Putuo, Putuo Mountain is where Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, the sacred mountain. So it would be really good to promote the study of Guan Yin or Avalokitesvara. And I'm also a good friend with the abbots of Jingshan Temple in Hangzhou. And Jingshan is where the Song Zen master Dahui Zonggao. Dahui Zonggao is the one who advocates what we call Kan Hua Chan, one kind of meditation or Zen. So that was also great. I went to the abbot. I say I will help you to promote the study of Kan Hua Chan. So this is all in my idea of what we call the local Buddhism. Okay, that's it. Well, before I tell you about the current situation of Buddhism in China, and I would like to kind of take you back to see in last century, in 20th century, what happened in China. There was a few instance, period. It's kind of a setback, the Buddhism from progress. The first one, as you can see in after the Sun Yat-sen, he overturned the Qing dynasty. So Republic of China was established, okay, in 1911. But even though the ROC was established, but there was a lot of civil war. So basically during that time, it was a lot of civil war. And many temples were occupied by the military. Because why I mentioned this one, every time, now we go to China, probably when you go there, you always say, we kind of lament, okay? During the Cultural Revolution, most of the temples, the Taoist temple or Buddhist temple were destroyed during the Cultural Revolution. But after you talk to the people there, and you realize, indeed, the destruction is not started, Cultural Revolution at all. It was a long way before. That means even before the Cultural Revolution or the PRC or ROC. It was during the Civil War. Okay. And the second stage was in 1949, People's Republic of China established. And at that time, then the PRC started so-called the land reform policy. And what they were doing, they confiscate a lot of land from the temple and then back to the farmer. So, temple also lost, not just the main shrine was destroyed, but also at the same time, the temples lost a lot of lands as well. And if we look at the Cultural Revolution from 66 to 76, of course, we all know a lot of things about the destroying. And you will find very interesting right now. Of course, you go to China. Later, I will show you a lot of photos. You go to China, you see the temples there. Mostly you find is what? It's new. It's all built recently, 50 years or 30 years, and very much the same. Okay, but there are some parts you will be able to find some stupa, some statue, and were protected from Cultural Revolution. And it was very interesting. One thing I can tell you, I think the people should think about that earlier. Mostly the reason they can protect it from the persecution is that they put, Mao Zedong's photo. If you put a photo of a Mao and then the Red Guard will kind of, shut away and don't do anything. Or they were protected by some of from the top, like Zhou Enlai was ordered to protect they were Suzhou, Xiyuan Temple in Suzhou. So you will find all this story. And I think that Buddhism under the Cultural Revolution will be really a good dissertation or even for scholar. But a little bit hard though, because a lot of people already kind of during the Cultural Revolution, they kind of passed away. But you might be able to find the Red Guard. Right now it's most age about like 60, 50, 60. Maybe you can get some information from their mouth. Of course, after Cultural Revolution, I mean, China, the whole China, they realized a lot of temple, a Buddhist temple, Taoist temple was destroyed. Okay, definitely there was an awareness, and start there. They want to have a recovery, but unfortunately, in 1989, Tiananmen incident. I think this is another step, kind of a setback on the religion as well, because the government realized that the Tiananmen incident was influenced by so-called foreign religious force. Okay, and so if you look at their policy, you will realize it starts from 1990, 1991, 93, and keep it to have the government set the policy kind of supervise it. Okay, especially the religion from the outside, and include if you are monks, Buddhist monks and nuns, not from China, include from Taiwan. Okay. Okay, I want to introduce, but for this year, the things that have been done for Buddhism is mostly charged by this national, it's a state organization, it's called Buddhist Association of China, 中国佛教会. It was established right after the PRC, People Republic of China, established. And in 1978, after Cultural Revolution, from this association, they set up a policy, want to recover from the Cultural Revolution, many policies. And start from 1980, they decide to build the temples, but on the ruin. If you go to China, you probably, I don't know, I mean, like in United States or from Taiwan, where I come from, basically you can just, if you have money, you find a land, right, and you register, and then you can build a temple. But this is not the case in China at all. In China, if you want to build a temple, you need to find the historical site. That's the only way. Even though you can find a steel or a piece of a pillar, if you can prove there was a temple there, then you can apply and you got the approval to build a temple. That's the policy in China. And this gentleman, Mr. Zhao Puchu, he was the vice president vice president secretary from the beginning to 1980, and start from 1980, until he passed away. He's a very important figure for Buddhism in 20th century or 21st century in China. Okay, in the last century, because now you go to China, you see all the temple, you will find that all to do with his supervision and his instruction. Okay, I'm going to In 1980, when Mr. Zhao started, well, he became a president, and then he started what? Do the petition to the Central People's Government, that means 国务院. It was the kind of central administration, department of the whole country. And he asked that we need to rebuild that those temples was destroyed during the Cultural Revolution, okay? And what they're doing is that they select, the first one, they select a group of the temples and start from the 4 great sacred mountains, the Putuosan, Emeisan, and Jiuhuasan, and Wutaisan. And for example, I just give you some example here. Like the Beijing Huayuan Temple, Shanghai, Nanjing, and Yangzhou, they selected, historical and also maybe, possess the very important heritage. Okay, probably over 60 temples there. Okay. Now, if you ask, what is the new trend of Buddhism in China? I believe whoever have been there, the impression, you go to China, you see the temple is, wow, it's a new and giant. And I need to prove it. Matt, that's why I need the PowerPoint and video, okay? Okay, here. Well, of course, I mean, there was a many angles we can cut into the modern Chinese Buddhism. But I think that here, there were the 3 issues here I want to cover for tonight's topic, and maybe for the other, you can ask me when we have the Q&A. Okay, the first issue I want to talk about, since 1980, Mr. Zhao, the Buddhist Association of China, decided to rebuild this temple, and they got the state approval. And basically, you go to see the temple. Even on the ruin, it's an expansion. It's really big, a giant. And the first one, I'm going to show you a videotape. Okay, this is a new one for me, but I will try. I'm going to show you. Okay, here. This is we call the Buddhist college near Putuo Mountain. Okay, and it's about 50 acres, okay, 50 acres. Oh, let me see, it's 300. Yeah, 50 acres. And it was, do you know how many years take for this construction? 3 years. It started from 2006 and it finished, the beginning of 2009. And I'm going to show you. It was an empty space. And now I'm going to show you. This is the I took the see, this is a Buddhist college. It's a 50 acres and accomplished in three years. And of course, it's an imitation of a Tang Dynasty architectures. And then the design of also according to the function. I asked them 7 years. They said no, it's only 3 years to accomplish. And you have the palms, waters. I think Naomi, yeah, we visit there, am I right? Yeah. Okay. And I will show you something. Okay, this is Buddhist college. Basically, I show you this one. It was they were designed for like 8 departments. And basically, this 8 department was Chinese Buddhist school. We have an 8 school. So you have Huayan, Tiantai, and Weishi. Every old of Vinaya, Pure Land is here, but the name is a little bit different. Okay? And then when you talk to them, you ask them, what do you focus? They say, well, this Buddhist college is the first one they want to train. It will be the training center for monks and nuns, of course. But right now, they only recruit monks only. Okay? And then they want to educate in the future Dharma teacher, especially people are doing the teaching Buddhism, the Buddhist philosophy. And they want to do what? Buddhism and management. And fourth one will be to foster international exchange. So this is also nice location in my mind for wooden fish project as well. Okay. And I'll show you, I'll continue my, okay, so this is one place, and the second place I want to show you. This is the first year we visit Xi'an. I want to show you. Well, of course, Xi'an, there was Xuanzang, the master Xuanzang in Tang Dynasty. He came back from India and to China, and the famous pagoda here, stupa here, is Big Goose, and it was established in 652 originally, and the stupa is to store those scriptures brought back by Xuan of this temple. It was all totally new, and especially I want you to see this place. Okay, later I will show you. The whole temple is not just temple itself, of course also working with the local government, and then it cooperate with the neighbor and become a big park. Okay, and you just see, this is the place I want to show you. Okay, what's that place for? That place is play the music and fountain. Okay, every day, several times they play the music, and you also have all kinds of water dance. I think it's even more fancier than the one in Las Vegas. And this one is on the ground. I'm not joking. Okay, so so this is Dazi. So you see the compound and with the park. I think that everyone should go to take a look at Xi'an. It's very different. Almost the whole city was redesigned. But of course, they emphasize the architecture should be imitated the Tang Dynasty. Okay, so this is that. The second thing I want to show you, well, Yungang in Shanxi. This is the second year we visit, and this statue is supposed to be from the 5th century. Okay. But the Yungang Grotto, basically was just a kind of one side of the mountain, and if you walk from one end to the other end, probably less than 5 minutes if you keep walking. Just 3 minutes, you just keep walking, not look at it. However, though, I mean, the local government decided to expand this historical site. How big will it be? Let me show. I want to show you the video. Okay. Well, right now, if you walk into Yungang here, well, from the entrance to the grotto, the really grotto, it have to take you 15 minutes to walk. Okay. And there was a lot of landscaping, and here you just see there was a new construction. I took the video. You can tell it's new and on the water. And everything is artificial. The water was not, or pond was not there before. Okay. So this is one of the construction, the giant construction from between the entrance and to the grotto. Okay. Okay, let me see. And the other one is a Huayuan temple. It's the same this is the Huayuan temple in almost Taiyuan, the same province of Yungang, and we visited there the second year. It was famous for his sculpture and from the mural, okay, from the Liao Dynasty, 11th century. And it was just, this sculpture, a mural was just in one shine. But the local government and the temple decided to expand, okay, and how big, you just look at it, okay. Well, remember during the Civil War or Cultural Revolution, especially Civil War, there are lots of, temples were occupied by military, by army, or even confiscated to become a school. But we were told this Huayan Temple, the government decided to expand this program. They even tear down an elementary school. We were told. Okay, definitely they tear down a lot of shops as well. And these are under construction. Okay, and one of the scholars from mainland China told us, they say, okay, look at this department store was next to the Huayan Temple. It's also in the plan will be torn down. Okay, we were told. Okay, so I want to show you. So this you can see this is all construction, but you see there was a church there too, next to the temple. Okay, this is under construction. 2010 when we were there, and I want to show you a video. Okay, I want to show you a video, and we were there, and. I just let you see when they finished. I will stand in one of the courtyard. Just one of the courtyard. Indeed, there were three courtyards. Okay, and I took the video. You see here. I was kind of a 360 degree. Okay, to around. So this is the whole courtyard. And if you ask me, of course, a lot of the new shrines, temples is there, and include in the future they're going to have a lot of shops as well. Yeah. So we were there 2010. And I'll show you what is the next. This is the inauguration in the September. And you see a lot of people, because you see a lot of the big temple, and where is the people? In China right now, they claim to have a 1.6 billion population. So if you go to China and you know, if you have a ceremony, don't worry, they're going to have 10,000 or even millions of people there too. Okay. So this is the temple. Okay. Of course, they also have some temple. They decided not to working with the government and just kind of a step by step, and then you know working on their own. One of them is the Harmon Temple, because that was the issue I'm going to bring up, and they're also under the construction as well. The temple I mentioned, Grotto or Huayan Temple, you all have to pay to get in there. So that okay. Before I get to that topic, then how can you get the land? From the way I talk to people. The first one, if you're working with the local people, they confiscate, from the farmer, from the neighbors, or the temple they buy from the local people. And sometimes you have to go for the lawsuit, like in Xi'an, the Daci the Xuanzhuangzi temple. When we talk to the people, they will tell you there was still a few lawsuits going on, because nobody's. The temple proved this is belong to the temple during the last century. Okay, but people, the factory were there, so they go through the lawsuit, or people like Fo Guangshan from Taiwan go to China, then we rent from the local guy. We lease. You have to know that all the lands in China, you cannot really own it. It will stay on, but you only lease from them. Okay, financially, you can, a big donor. When we, the second year when we were in Wutaisan, there was a number, big number, hundreds of nuns were there. And basically this temple was built on big donation from a Hong Kong businessman, Yang Zhao. Or regular donation, we went to the Huahua Si in Huzhou, and the people, the temple basically just run regular activity and get the small donation. Or later I will show you a big temple, have a bank loan as well. Or local government, like we will see those become a tourist center, mostly developed by local government. Or the four great Buddhist, the mountains were from the local, the province, the Buddhist association in the local area. Okay. The second one I want to do is that now if you go to China, but kind of one thing I feel very uncomfortable is especially when I bring a big group there, we all have to pay entrance fee, and some entrance fee could up to 210 renminbi. So it's about how many if you divide into 6 over 30 over even $30. Okay. I want to show you there was a case here. Of course, there are many. But here, one thing I want to show you, this one, and I come back. This one is in Wuxi and started in 1997. And it was accomplished on 2002. And it was 75 acres. However, it's growing, okay? So you see this one. This is a great Buddha. So you enter there. You don't see the big Buddha. Well, you see the Buddha is in far away, but the first one you will see the performance. The 9 dragon shower the baby Buddha, and you have to go there. Okay, there was certain time they were scheduled. So it was a music and with a show, and this is the way you see. Of course, I mean, besides this great Buddha, you also have the next project was the so-called the Brahma Palace. It's a giant inside. You can tell it was all this kind of rather lavish, okay, decoration. There was a kind of a collection of national master sculpture, any kinds of art. Everything is there in this Brahma Palace. And the third one, indeed, just accomplished this year. The third buildings here is Tibetan. So you can see it's a Chinese, Indian and Tibetan. Okay, and this is called 5 Seals Platform Palace. Okay, so if you go in there and you visit there, everything is new, but giant, and you have to pay 210 in order. So you have to spend at least 1 day to see this place. And why? Maybe I'll come back later. Okay. Well, why choose here to be a Wuxi, the temple here? As I mentioned, you cannot just pick up one place, okay, and then to build a new one, because this location originally has a temple called Xiangfu Si, and Xiangfu Si was start from Tang Dynasty. A general is called Han Hui. He was associated with Xuanzhuang. So there was a small temples there. So they were able to prove, okay, there was a tiny hut there, and so they choose this one to build the temple. Of course, who built this giant Buddha and the palace? Not this monk. Okay, you see, this is the abbot here. He's the abbot of Xiangfu Shi. Not he built the temple. It was a co-op. And basically this co-op was organized by government and the businessmen to do it and make it a tourist center. And why choose this place? Okay, see what's in their mind. We were told that from Mr. Zhao, as I just mentioned, Mr. Zhao, the president of the Buddhist Association of China, he thinks that if you look at China's map, in the north you have in the west you have the Yungang Grotto. Sorry, this is in Chinese, Yungang. And then in the west you have the Yueshan Dafo. And in the center, in the north you have Longmen, and in the center you have Leshan Dafo, and in the south you have Hong Kong. So you already have a north, south, and the west and center. It's just a new one in the east. So this Wuxi Dafo was considered as the great Buddha in the east. So that was the reason to choose one. And the next one I want to introduce was the Xuedou Temple. Have you already know that in Chinese Buddhism you have these 4 great sacred mountains? It's the Wutan, Ermei, Putuo, the Putuo and Zhouhua. And these are all, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, Samantabhadra, Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva, and then also was it Manjushri. And unique fifth one is the Mantriya Buddha. Okay, so that's why I'm showing you this one. A little bit, sorry, this one is a kind of blurry, it wasn't really clear. We went there. Was an enshrined Mantriya Buddha, was giant as well. Okay, was almost 100 acres. They will tell you like 100 mu. So mu, about 6 mu is 1 acre. Okay, 6 1 acre. So this is the whole compound from the kind of purview. I think it's very hard to see. It's all accomplished, but still doing it, extended. And you see, this is our participants go up there. See, it's about like a tour of a Mantriya Buddha, just a person's height. So this is a Mantriya Buddha's pose. Okay. Of course, I mean this kind of development, a temple become a tourist center. You probably want to ask, is that always what temple needs? And a lot of time it's not at all. So they create a tension between the temple and the local government. And one thing I want to show, one of the cases, this is a very famous, it's called Harmon Temple, a Harmon instance in March 20, 2009. This is Harmon Temple in Chang'an or Xi'an, the outskirts of Xi'an. Very famous during the Tang Dynasty. All the Tang emperor have to not every year, for a certain year, they go to fetch the Buddha's finger relic, okay, and then patrol. So Han Yi was write a memoir to against it. Okay, so you cannot memorial, you can against the emperor to do that. So the Buddha relic, according to the record, the Buddha finger relic has somehow disappeared. Nobody knows after Tang Dynasty. Okay, but they still have a stupa in this temple. The stupa was rebuilt in 1579. Until, of course, there was a renovation. Until 1981, there was the stupa was hit by the lightning and was half a collapse. So the China Buddhist Association or the government decided what we need to rebuild the temple. And in 1987, when they tried to rebuild the stupa, then they discovered there was an underground vault or the underground palace. And you know what they discovered? The most precious things. One of the most precious things in Chinese Buddhism is the finger relic. But very interesting, you want to just find one. Indeed, how many you find? 4. And the number is according to the order of discovery. Okay, and then 4 of them. I want to ask you, which one is the real one? There were 1 is a genuine one, and 3 is an imitation one. Okay, so indeed it's the second one. This one is supposed to the real one, the genuine one. Well, after the discovered this one in 1987. Well, okay, and also not just a Buddhist relic, they also come up with a lot of artifacts. The Buddhist artifact, over 1,000, almost 2,000 pieces. Of course, these are our treasure. You probably assume these should all go to the temple, but that's not the case. Then what? The local government, from tourist bureau, especially cultural artifacts bureau, they all have a part of it. The over 2,000 artifacts are all confiscated by the cultural artifact. And then the tourist bureau decided to build what? A tourist center around the temple. So now if you go to the temple, what you have seen is only, you cannot see even the artifacts either, or from the underground. Only you see is 3 fake imitations, finger relic. The real one also go to the tourist bureau. What they want to do? Okay. The tourist bureau decided to build a 600 acres is called 文化景区, the cultural tourist center, 600 acres. And then there was a giant buildings there. Right now, it's all this is not blueprint; it's accomplished. And they put the real Buddha's finger relics there. Okay, and just see these stupa, what they call 合掌, like a palm giant, was 148 meter high, and there was like in front courtyard was 1,230 meter long, the passage. Okay, what happened? Well, what happened was that this tourist bureau, they want to collect the entrance fee, but all will become a local government's revenue, because the local government also confiscate many of the land from the farmer. So they also decided when they want to collect the money, they also build a fence and then confine the temple. So if you want to go in the temple, you have to go through the entrance and pay for the fee. Okay, so definitely, and how much money the temple will get? 1 million renminbi. But how much the revenue will get from this if the tourism? According to the kind of estimation, they probably get 0.1 billion renminbi. Okay, the kwai, and then they give 1 million to the temple. Of course, what happened? We met on the first year. We met with the monk. This is the vice abbot here. Okay, of course he told us the story. You just see what happened. Before we went there, a few months before, the monks, about hundreds of monks from the Harmon Temple, decided to tear down the fence built up by the tourist bureau. Okay. And the local people came to help. You see, they even get the crane and they tear it down. Okay. And the temple closed. See, people are happy. But we don't know whether it's a happy ending or not. Well, you probably want to ask what happened. Of course, they, you know what, from the center, the state just kind of want to kind of calm down, pacify this incident. Okay, they don't want to hear more about the religious riot anymore. Okay. Well, from the tourism, can you believe it? Now that the other very hot issue in China is called stock market exchange. Okay, all this tourist center with all this revenue, with all this construction, then they decided what? To put this what they call share on the market. So it's called initial public offering. And the case like what in Shaolin Temple, you probably have heard that the Shaolin Temple right now is on the stock market, and of course it's nothing to do with the temple, because there was a company, basically they built the area as a tourist center, and they formed, it's called Shaolin Shiyue Fengshi, that means Shaolin Enterprise Company, and it's the one they decided to put on the